Chapter 11 of Advanced Public Relations and Advertising deals with public relations campaigns. Public relations campaigns are long-term efforts to issue repeated, consistent messages in an effort to change public opinion. The principles of public relations campaigns recognize that it's a process. There are 5 common characteristics of good campaigns. It is important to plan the campaign carefully. You can't convince everybody, so the public relations effort must be focused on the most important segments of the public. Creativity is important when planning a campaign, and top management must be sold on the campaign before it is implemented. Campaigns consist of repeated, consistent messages to the public. The purpose of campaigns is to deal with a major public relations problem. Public relations efforts should support the desired positioning of the organization. Position is how the organization serves the public. The position describes the competitive strategy relative to other companies in the industry. Perhaps a company intends to undercut the prices of the competitors, or they plan to provide better customer service, or a higher quality product. Or the position may refer to how the employees see the organization. The company cannot provide excellent customer service unless the employees buy into the position. Learning means to change behavior. For example, to change behavior may be the ability to factor a quadratic equation, or to change behavior may mean to express a positive impression of the organization. The long-term goal of public relations is to change public opinion. Objectives are short-term mileposts along the way to achieving goals. The objective must be defined as a definitive, factual measure of achievement. Also, the objective must support the goals. Lastly, there must be a deadline for achieving the objective. You can't reach everybody, so it is important to carefully define the group of people on which to focus the message. The campaign must be mapped out ahead of time. Plans can change based on feedback, but the overall plan must be in place. As the plan is implemented, officials must verify that objectives are being met and research the effects of the message on the public. This feedback helps to define the message and adjust the campaign tactics. Campaigns use a mixture of channels because each type of media has its pros and cons. Video media is better suited for emotional appeals to indifferent members of the public, while written messages are better suited to change the opinion of people who are very much interested in the issue. The readership or viewers of a channel impact the choice of media, as well as the type of media which is best suited for the message. Companies have coercive powers over employees, as does the government over citizens. In a case where the organization has coercive powers, public relations campaigns can reward good behavior and punish bad behaviors. For example, the organization may decide to launch a public relations campaign to stop smoking by employees, which would result in lower health care costs and more efficiency because the employees wouldn't have to take so many smoke breaks. The first step would be to tell the employees about the new policies and provide facts about the health benefits. Then the company would have to provide free tools for the employees to stop smoking. Perhaps they would offer counseling or they would provide free patches or gum, or perhaps they would encourage their employees to go to their doctors for prescription drugs to help them stop smoking. Then the company should implement policies that punish employees who refuse to stop smoking. Commonly, these employees would have to pay a much higher health care premium. At the same time, the company should offer rewards for those who stop smoking. It may be as simple as a certificate to recognize their achievement, or it could be a cash bonus. Finally, the company should measure the success of the public relations campaign and then make adjustments to the campaign as needed. Public relation goals should flow from the overall goals of the organization. Then the organization should set objectives, which drive the objectives of public relations. Planning the public relations campaign includes setting objectives for the campaign. Also, planning includes setting deadlines for meeting the objectives. This theory defines the likelihood that an elaboration of the facts and details will convince people to change their minds. The theory defines two groups of public: the group of people who are engaged and focused on the issue, and the peripheral group that is aware of the issue but is not paying a lot of attention to it. There is a high likelihood that the engaged public will be persuaded by elaboration of the facts, and there is a low likelihood that the peripheral group will be swayed by elaboration of the facts. Instead, an emotional appeal would probably work better for this group. The public relations effort should be aimed at a specific segment of the population. This should be the group of people who are the stakeholders who are most affected by the issue. The targeted public may be customers, or it may be investors, or it may be those who live around the plant. It all depends on the issue. The best approach to change this group's opinion depends on the issue and the group. The peripheral group will have only a slight interest in the issue, and they can be best swayed by an emotional appeal. On the other hand, the engaged group is focused on the issue and can best be persuaded by a factual, logical approach. Only then can the planners choose the best media channel to reach the targeted group. Match the media channel to the demographics of the targeted group and to the media best suited to carry the message. The development of a message requires a lot of creativity. First, the planners must decide on a central message or a theme. This ensures that the different promotional and publicity efforts will echo a common message. The repeated communications through different channels over a long period of time will reinforce each other with this central message. Pick the best media channels to reach the targeted group at the least cost. All of these efforts in planning and executing a public relations campaign requires a great deal of creativity. The top management controls the purse strings, so they must buy in and support any public relations campaign. So the public relations practitioners must pull together a sales effort for the top management that explains the cost and benefits of the campaign. Top management will demand facts rather than just vague assurances. And they will question the facts. So the presenters must be able to support the facts with quality research. To ensure continued support, the Public Relations Department must prepare progress reports that document the extent to which the objectives were met by the campaign. The first step is to identify the major problem and then set goals and objectives to solve the problem. Then the reasons for the problem must be identified so that strategies can be developed to deal with the issue. The public relations campaign must serve the corporate mission, goals, and objectives. The planning must reflect a public relations strategy that leads to achievement of the objectives and then the goals. The campaign needs an overall theme, and the more effective media channel should be chosen in order to reach the targeted public at the lowest cost. This leads to formation of a budget and a timetable for the public relations campaign. After defining the goals and objectives, the next step is to select the methods for implementing the campaign. The final step is to conduct research about the opinions of the targeted public to determine if the campaign was successful. This research also provides a basis to make adjustments to an ongoing campaign.